Fuck the police. Some of you are probably surprised or even a bit shocked that I just used the F word in a class at SAS, but think about the people who heard this song when it was first released in 1988. Fuck the Police came about in the midst of mass racial profiling and police brutality in southern LA, specifically Compton, where the group NWA were from. Compton was an extremely dangerous neighborhood with elevated gang violence, and NWA were used to being racially profiled by police officers whenever they went about their usual business. This can all be attributed to the start of Operation Hammer in 1987. Operation Hammer was basically a police operation to reduce gang violence and just trafficking of drugs and narcotics in South LA. However, the operation was considered quite controversial because it mostly profiled Black and Latinos in the area and didn't really focus on Caucasians. One example of the racism portrayed during Operation Hammer was a raid on 2 residential buildings in the Compton neighborhood. The police stormed the buildings and arrested mostly Black men and found barely any narcotics, just a couple of grams of marijuana and a few guns. Once they had taken the Black men to jail, they came back and graffitied the houses that they had raided, praising the LAPD. The operation, along with further police brutality, caused high tension between the LAPD and the South LA community. Known for their invective-filled songs and hate of authority, NWA and F the Police combined the two to create one of the most popular rap songs of all time. NWA believes that the police and justice system should change in order to be more fair to the African American community. In order to convey that to their audience, the song is set up as a parody of a court case. In the first couple of stanzas, MC Ren, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube are acting as the court officer, the judge, and the witness, respectively. MC Ren introduces the case as NWA versus the police department. So immediately, based on the invective that we've heard so far, we know that NWA are going to be lampooning and ridiculing the police department. Making the song into a court case also shows that the justice system needs to be fixed too. Racial profiling was prevalent during the time, and it wasn't fair to Blacks who just went around their old business when there were Caucasians committing crimes much worse, but got no justice. At the end of the song, a verdict is given just like in any regular court case, and the judge, or Dr. Dre, says, he, the jury, has found you guilty of being a redneck, white bread, chicken shit motherfucker, to which the cop protests and asks for justice. Quite ironic when the song was written by a group of Black rappers whose brothers and sisters on the streets were getting no justice, and this cop is asking for justice at the end of the song. The last line of the song, however, shows the true color of this cop and many cops in the LA community's true colors. The policeman says, F you, you black mother effers. However, the main tool, undoubtedly in this song, has to be the extreme invective and shock towards the police. As I said before, the F word is used 48 times, around 48 times in this song. And when most people think of the police, they think of a force that needs to be respected. However, NWA did not care at all. With regular usages of the lines, F that shit, and really just, they didn't really care what the police told them. But that's, the invective, it's not just funny because they use the curse words. In addition to the violence, they also incite violence to the police, which was definitely shocking during that time period. They use lines such as, and if I'm rolling off the 8, which is like either cocaine, an eighth of an ounce of cocaine, or alcohol, he'll be the one that I take out and then get away. While I'm driving off laughing, this is what I'll say, F the police. Another line, I'm a sniper with a hell of a scope, taking out a cop or two, they just can't cope with me. Again, more violence. And finally, Ice Cube will swarm on any mother effer in a blue uniform. And when I finish, it's going to be a bloodbath of cops dying in LA. This song does use lots of extreme invective, but the reason that it uses it is because it wants to start a revolution. 20 years before, supposedly, Blacks had been granted civil rights and equal rights to white people, but they didn't really feel that way. Walking around the streets of Compton, anything anything you did, you could be targeted by the police. And in a lot of ways, this song is still relevant today, unfortunately. Around 20 years later, unfortunately, the same thing still seems to be happening. Racial profiling. For example, the Trayvon Martin case. He was just out during the halftime show of the NBA All-Star game, walking to go get an iced tea and some candy, and for some reason, he was considered a threat and shot and killed right on the spot. So overall, I feel that if this song were written today, in a lot of ways, it would have sent the same message, because unfortunately, not a lot has changed since 1988. Thank you.